Hello and welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider, the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Private alongside Sean Burdett, Memphis volleyball coach, and came in to rebuild things last year. It was your first year getting everything going. It's always, I don't know if you would say easier or maybe a little bit more difficult, but you've got to lay of the land for your second year.
Yeah, certainly there's a path and there's tremendous progress being made right now, and I think it's been a great time in the gym and watching the players and what they've put in over the summer, have that start to pay off now in the preseason training and be able to get through that, and looking forward to the first weekend.
There's some similarities because last year we talked a lot about your rebuilding job you did up at Green Bay. So this is the second time you've had to come through this kind of a format and go into that second year, which a lot of coaches will say the second year sometimes is a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, I think certainly we've got some good anchors out there. Somebody like Hannah Flowers, who is a returning all-conference player for us, and putting the pieces of the puzzle around the rest of the players that returned. We have 9 new faces, so that's certainly a large amount, but it's a good balance of incoming transfers and then true freshmen as well.
Sure, the thing you're happiest about is having a roster. Instead of trying to plug holes, try to get practice, you can have full scrimmages now because you've filled everything out.
It's been fantastic in terms of playing 6-on-6 and having depth in every position right now, and I think certainly with the depth leads to competition, and the competition by position makes everybody better, and I think that's what we're seeing out on the floor right now, and people pushing each other.
Obviously, the new depth, it's a lot of newcomers, but you've got kind of a 2 deep there. You don't have to rely on one setter or one libero. You've got a good little 2 deep.
Yeah, and we've been able to really take a look at a lot of different rotations, a lot of combinations of players together, and switch sides and do different things like that. And a lot of times we'll end up just kind of going, hey, find a spot on the floor, and you start to see who's competitive and where they start to run to and where they want to go and what they may think is a starting side versus the non-starting side, and then we play out the games and then start moving people around. So it's really good to have that competition in the gym.
And it's going to help you too, team-wise throughout the season. Last year probably wasn't a difficult scout when teams played you because of the limited roster. Yeah. They could kind of concentrate on Hannah, who's, again, preseason all-conference this year, but it'll be a lot more to attack when they play the Tigers this year.
Yeah, I think, certainly we've got, that certainly the depth, but we have weapons, I guess I would say. And then there's certainly a lot of people that can score points for us this year from the left side, from the right side, and then the middles as well. So I think that's a big thing. If we can get our middle attackers involved more, makes it easier for the left side and right side, the outside hitters, easier game for them.
Going to head up to EIU, start off the season. You'll play in their tournament. You'll face Drake and South Dakota State to start it off, the host team, EIU. And kind of a neat connection that we were told about. You were at your old school at Green Bay, and actually I think faced Memphis at all EIU tournament.
Yeah, correct. Got a W at that point in time, but this is something completely different, and we've got a challenging schedule. Starting off with Drake, who had 21 wins last season, and returns 2 very good setters and some attackers. So I expect fully to get a very challenging match right out the door, and then we have to turn around and play back-to-back and get South Dakota State right after that, and then the next morning play host EIU. So it's a very quick, almost turnaround weekend for us, where we're going to get 3 matches in a very short amount of time. But I think what Coach Lavat's done in the summer and the weightlifting and strength and conditioning is help prepare us for this time.
Of course, when you play any match, you want to win. That's the ultimate goal. But for this edition of the Tigers and with so many newcomers, what do you need to get out of this tournament?
Well, I think, unity, that's the biggest thing, and how we play, in adversity, and whether we're up and whether we're down in points, and how do we react to different situations. It's stuff that we just can't replicate in a practice scenario when you have fresh faces on the other side of the net, and what people are going to do to stress you. And it'd be great to see how we, handle those things, and if we do face that adversity, how we react to it and how we bounce back.
All right, Coach. Sounds good. We'll talk to you next week.
Great. Thank you very much.
Sean Burdett, I'm Jeff Brightwell with the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.